in the interest of Stetson Reeb. Ms. Weston, I guess you're going to update us today.
Stetson is placed with a foster family that is where he's doing incredibly well. Stetson thrives in that placement. He's very bonded with that family. He's been getting to all his appointments. He has reached all his milestones. He's just doing very well in that placement, and they take very good care of him, and he's doing very well. There are some updates since the court report has been filed. Would you like those updates, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
He has experienced some medical issues.
Hold on real quick, Miss Weston. Your Honor, if we don't get into any medical issues with the child, I would ask to go off of YouTube to protect his privacy.
Let me ask this, Ms. Weston, are we going to get more specific than just medical issues?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Zavala, any objection? Ms. Lucero?
No objection.
All right. All right, then, motion's been made to close the courtroom if we're going to discuss medical and health issues concerning the child. So there's not being any objection to that, I will go ahead and stop the live stream. We'll close the courtroom and I'll restart that at the appropriate time. Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. So, Ms. Rube, when did you go out of town?
Last week.
Okay. So is this a post you made? You drove through 3 states today: Pennsylvania, West Virginia, now Ohio. On my way back home, 3 more states to go, then Texas.
Yes.
Okay. And is this Mr. Anderson?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So this wasn't just reaching out, talking to him about his mother, correct?
Right.
Okay. This is be careful, love, will do, love you too, correct?
Right. Correct.
Okay. And the post right below that says happy belated Mother's Day, which is in line with what you just said. You went out last week.
Right.
Okay. You also stated earlier that this account is an old one that you don't use anymore.
No. This is my other account. I still use it. I don't have access to the other accounts.
I understand that. But when I asked you if you had an account under this name, you stated that it's an old one you don't use anymore, that you have the Jessica Rube one, correct?
Did I say that?
I don't know.
I don't think I said that.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Is somebody else sitting there with Ms. Rube?
Yeah, apparently so. Ms. Rube, who's sitting there?
I'm sorry. It's my mom.
Okay, you can't look to her for answers or assistance.
Okay. I'm sorry.
But you're still in very much contact with Mr. Anderson, aren't you?
Maybe through Facebook posts and stuff like that, but not through like messages. I mean, here and there he'll just comment and stuff, but that's about it. I mean, it's not like WhatsApp every day.
Ms. Rube, you don't comment to people, I love you too, be careful, and you're just in contact with them every now and then when you feel like it. You're in contact with Mr. Anderson, aren't you?
Not to that extent, no. He's been commenting a little more that since his mom has passed, but that's about it.
Okay. So this is the main page to that account, correct?
Yeah.
What does this say right here?
It says in a relationship.
In a relationship. Who are you in a relationship with, Ms. Rube?
It's not updated.
Okay. But it's also one you don't use very often, but you just used last week, correct?
Right.
Okay. So, Ms. Rube, I'm going to close this out, Your Honor. Ms. Rube, you're not being truthful about your relationship with Mr. Anderson, are you? And this is the time, Ms. Rube, to be honest with us. We're trying to work with you in this case, and we can't work with you if you're not going to be honest with us.
Let me
don't-
put it, let me, Mr. Trout, let me interrupt you. Let me just go right to the heart of the matter. Ms. Rube, do you want this child home?
Yes, ma'am.
And if I tell you sitting here today that if you are not honest with me and we continue to find contradicting information like they've just displayed, you know, in subsequent hearings in this case, if I tell you right now, if you lie to me and you are dishonest with me, the likelihood of the child ever going home to you is very, very small. Do you want to think for a minute about how you want to answer these questions? Do you want to talk to your lawyer before you answer any more questions?
Can I talk to my lawyer?
I think it's a good idea. All right. I'm going to assign you all to room 2. Oh, hang on, Miss Taylor. I clicked on you.
Yeah, I got the
clicked on
prompt,
you.
but
I know. I think it just dropped down a thing. Okay. I've got her in there and you can ignore it, obviously. All right, everybody else just take a quick break.
Thank you. Yeah, may I speak to Miss Weston and Miss Curtsey in a room real quick?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're back.
Yeah, I've closed the breakout rooms because we're,
Yes.
you
Running
know,
behind. I understand, Your Honor.
it's just an initial perm hearing and we've
Right,
got
right.
to kind of keep moving this morning. So, all right.
Your Honor, I've spoken with her and I know we can go back and forth with the questions, but she would like to just address the court if she can.
All right.
That'd be all right?
Yeah, but doesn't mean anybody may not have questions. So,
Oh, no, I understand. I understand
Yeah.
that. I understand that.
Okay. Can I go ahead and speak?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, we do talk every, 2 weeks. I was worried that it would jeopardize my services if I said something. He has spoken to me about wanting to work his services, but I told him, I said, well, you need to reach out to them yourself. So that way, if I say something, I didn't want anybody to think that we have started talking, because he did say he wanted to work services, and I can give y'all the phone number. I really wanted him to reach out directly, and I was just scared. I didn't know how to go about it, but he has told me he wants to work services, and I know he can confirm that if I can give y'all the phone number. But I do not have I really don't have an address.
All right, Ms. Rube, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay. At 28 years old, you should be old enough to understand that, there's bigger fear in lying about things than there is about telling the truth. I mean, I'm guessing if your mom's sitting right there, I'm guessing at least once in your adolescence, your mom told you, tell the truth because it's going to hurt a lot less than if you tell a lie and I catch you in it.
Yes, ma'am.
So, this is all part of what we're trying to work with you. It's not just working through the checklist of the services. It's learning about being accountable and responsible. And when you make a mistake, own it, face up to it, pay the consequences of it, and don't make it again. That's called maturity. You don't make the same mistakes over and over and over again. So, sure, I'm happy. It's great. It would help everybody a lot if you want to pass the phone number along to your permanency specialist, Ms. Weston. But I agree with you. He needs to be the one reaching out to work the services. That is his responsibility, not yours. But if he doesn't, then Ms. Rube, I would think that as a mature 28-year-old, you would be thinking, I'm done with this guy. He's going to jeopardize me getting my child home.
Right.
That's what a mature 28-year-old would be thinking right now.
Right.
So, I'm going to see you back in September for another hearing. I just think between now and then you need to do some serious soul searching about what a mature mom is going to do and the decisions a mature mother is going to make if that mother wants to keep that child.
Okay.
That's what I got to see. Not only not only that you're drug-free, not only that you know, have finished your services and done these things, but that you've learned from them. Okay? We all make mistakes, but you got to own up to them when you make them. I will allow you to give that phone number to Ms. Weston. It doesn't have to be done here in open court. I prefer that it not be, but you can follow up with her and text it to her if you want. So, all right. Anybody else have any more questions for her?
I don't, Your Honor. That's our main thing, is that we need to know if he's going to be around, where he is, if he's willing to work services, and how to get in touch with him. And that we need Ms. Rube to be honest with us. We're willing to work with her. We're willing to work with Dad if he's going to show up and work with us, but we can't make our decisions in the best interest of the kid if we're being lied to and we are not getting all the information to make that decision. But that is what we were needing, Your Honor.
Absolutely 100% agree. So Ms. Rube, what you've done today is you've set back probably the timetable on reunification with the child because you weren't honest with these folks. I mean, forget, you know, you need to be honest with these people in between your court hearings. It's not about just being honest when you come to court and talk to me. It's about being honest every day with them. I mean, they are working with you. They're trying to reunify and get the child back home with you. But you know, when stuff like this happens and comes about, then it just sets us all back. And it sets you back today. Because even though you've essentially worked everything today, I wouldn't even consider or entertain the idea of sending the child home to you today until you demonstrate some maturity. And that your willingness to take accountability for your actions and your decisions. So hopefully everyone has learned a good lesson today. And we will continue to move forward in the case, but for right now, I'm not going to make any substantial changes. So hopefully we can get in touch with Mr. Anderson and determine what his intentions are. And if his intentions are to work services, he needs to get on it. All right. Anybody have any other things to add other than I need to take Mrs. Zavala's formal recommendation?
I don't believe so, Your Honor, from our side.
Okay, Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, as reported, Stetson's doing really well in placement. My issues that I wanted to get information on were the cancellation of visits and ending visits early, things like that. I do recommend that this placement continue as in Stetson's best interest.
All right. Then today we're going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I'm going to continue the child's current placement. I would find that there would be a continuing danger to return the child home to the mother at this time and or to Mr. Anderson since he's not participated with us at all. I'm going to expect that Ms. Rube will give that contact information to Ms. Weston if she hasn't already for Mr. Anderson. And I will see everybody back for a review hearing September 16th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. Obviously, St. Francis, y'all have, you know, things continue to go well and we get all this straightened out about Mr. Anderson and we think she continues to do well. I mean, you know, if you get to the point where we're ready to start some stepped up visitation, then that's fine. I'm gonna defer that to you all and allow you to make those decisions. You know, you don't have to wait till September, but you know, Ms. Rube, that's gonna greatly depend on you at this point. So, okay, I'll see you back in September.
Can I say something?
Thank you.
Can I say-
Yeah,
Can I
I'm sorry. I don't know who that is, keeps whispering and telling her
Yeah.
to speak. but
Ms. Rube, from now on in hearings, you know, you need to be in a room by yourself and or with your attorney only.
Okay. I was actually trying to say something.
What do you want
Uh,
to say?
I was gonna explain the reason why I have to leave visits when I do, because they go to 11:30. I have to be at work at 12, so I have to usually end them like 10-15 minutes early because I work all the way across town from where the visits are.
Have
And
you
I was
talked to
just
Ms. Weston about trying to schedule a different time?
um they're 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 usually pretty, like, I don't know, I think I have, but I think I guess I have talked to Tristan too about it. He told me that the visits are pretty full and they can give me a note for work or whatever, but it doesn't really help the fact that like I have to get to work.
Okay, well, you know, I encourage you to talk to Ms. Weston about it and see if there's something we can figure out, okay?
Okay. And
And
then
Your Honor, I'll follow up on that with Ms. Weston also.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank y'all.
thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, then I will call cause number 99712E, the department versus Abay Habibi. This is in the interest of Adil Shafa and Amran Shafa. We are here on a compliance hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming. Ms. Taylor's making our record. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Counsel Gene Graff and Andrea Lewis present and representing the agency and ready to proceed.
Jay Michelson on behalf of Ms. Habibi. She is present and we're ready to proceed.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the children.
All right, thank you. Okay, who we gonna get an update from?
We could ask Ms. Lewis, Your Honor. She's listed under Ms. Walker, her supervisor, because I think she's in her office. But if Ms. Lewis would give us an update, that would be great.
Okay,
Hi there. Um, we've had a few things happen since the court report was filed. As you know, Your Honor, Abay lives in the home with her two children, Amran and Adil, and then her older daughter, Starlin, was living in the home with her three children. Last week, when the worker for Starlin went to the home, a verbal altercation broke out. Things escalated to a point that the worker did not feel safety could be ensured, and so she ended up calling law enforcement out there. And so Starlin and her three children have been removed from the home and they're staying elsewhere. And so Abay is in the home along with her children as of today. There's been a lot of conflict between Starlin and Abay, and we tried to work on that with family counseling and those kinds of things, and it just came to a boiling head. Thankfully, there was no physical altercation or anything like that, but it very well could have turned that way due to just all the attention and stress in the home. Abay is scheduled to go to counseling again today. We tried family counseling, that didn't work, so she's going to focus on some individual sessions with Dolores Hinders. Amran has had kind of a rough go as far as school. She's been suspended a few times for physical aggression towards other students, and then she was caught with the marijuana vape at school. We still have concerns that she is engaging in smoking. I talked to mom last week, Abay, about taking her for a drug test. And then it's my understanding that Halamo is now back in the house, and that's the 17-year-old, and we have a safety plan in place that she can't be alone with either Amran or Adil because of suspicions of marijuana use by her as well. Abay, she continues to cooperate with me. She continues to cooperate with TFF. We really, in the next coming weeks, are really going to do a strong push to kind of teach her how to navigate some things on her own. Right now, she is fully dependent on the department and TFF to get her to and from appointments. check-ins for Adil's probation and those kinds of things. But we're not always going to be around. So I'm going to be working with her on using the city bus system. She has a vehicle. It's not in good shape. Needs a lot of repairs and those kinds of things. So we're really going to have to push her to utilize those community resources such as the bus and those kinds of things to get her and the kids around, because we don't want to set her up for failure and be reliant on us when we're not a long-term, solution to things. So it's been kind of a rocky week, but we're trying to get everybody back on track.
You would say
Okay,
overall, though, other than what happened this week, compliance and progress have been seen.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're getting to that point where she's going to have to start using the things that she's seen, learned through the department, through counseling, through TFF, and kind of make a plan for her to have some stability and some consistency long term and not be just relying on us.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
all right, Ms. Zavala, do you have any questions?
I have no questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Groff, anybody else from the department today?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Michelson, you and your client, anything today?
I just wanted to make sure that as far as Habibi's compliance with goals, she's meeting those goals.
And that's a question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We are limited a little bit with her because she cannot read and write. So we've kind of had to get creative on some things, but she communicates very well with us. She is compliant and she's doing what we've asked her to do.
Okay. Pass the witness.
All right. Okay. Ms. Zavala, anything to add today?
Yes, Your Honor. I got to visit in the home last night. Amron was at a school event, so I did not get to see her, but I did get to have a good conversation with Adele, and I was there at the same time that the Family First people were. I understand there's been a lot going on in the last week, but to me, the environment felt pretty calm last night. I think it is going to be a good change that there are fewer people in the home and that tension. Adele seemed happy and comfortable there. Mom was very cooperative. So I felt like this was a good development. And so hopefully we can continue that way, and see how it goes over the next few months.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, then we're just going to continue services with the family. And Ms. Habibi, it sounds like things are going pretty well. We're at that stage now where we got to see you, putting in place the things that you're learning. So, but otherwise it sounds like things are maybe improving. So glad to hear that. All right, then we'll have another compliance hearing on August 12th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. So I'll see you all back then. And hopefully we'll be close to wrapping everything up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank y'all.
This is the only matter I have with
Thank
Your
you.
Honor this morning. With your permission, I'll sign off now.
Yes, sir. It'll be fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, likewise, this is my only case for this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. That'd be great.
All right,
Yeah,
thank
good
you.
morning.
Have a good day.
All right, I will call cause number 99971E in the interest of Benjamin Pennan. We're here today on a reset of our adversary hearing. Our initial setting was on May 13th, and Ms. Kincaid had just been appointed to represent the mother, and so we continued that till today. Also, we discussed Mr. Pennan, I guess, was living with her, and we were trying to encourage her, or encourage Mr. Pennan through her to fill out the paperwork for an attorney. I've still not seen anything from him, so I assume that that's not happened yet. All right, so we'll go ahead and take everybody's announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We are present, ready, Your Honor.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent Ms. Cruz. We're both present and ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
All right, thank you. All right, and just for the record, Mr. Pennan is not present. All right. Okay, who's the first witness today?
Your Honor, before we get started, is my understanding from message from Ms. Kincaid just then that mom is willing to agree to the temporary managing conservatorship and to work services with the department. We're not asking for any child support or medical support at this time, just for mom to cooperate and work services with us.
Okay. So we'll need to take some testimony with respect to Mr. Pennan.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Cruz, do you have video available?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you turn that on, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Mr. Pennan there with you by any chance?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right then. Ms. Kincaid, is that what you and your client have agreed to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Trout, with respect to Mr. Pennan, if you want to call your first witness, you may do so.
Call Zoe Atkinson, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Atkinson, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Atkinson, would you state your name for the record, please?
Zoe Atkinson.
And Ms. Atkinson, you heard that we announced just then we have an agreement with mom and that we needed some testimony as to Mr. Pennan. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. During your investigation, were you able to make contact with Mr. Pennan?
Yes.
And where did you first make contact with him?
At Northwest Texas Hospital.
Okay. And did he understand what the department's involvement was?
Yes.
And you discussed and went over that with him?
Yes.
Now he's pled into the case as an alleged dad. Did you discuss with him whether he thought he was the father of the child or if he had any concerns about that?
Yes.
And what was his answer?
He said that there are concerns of him being the father because he believes Miss Cruz was with other men at the time.
Okay. Was there discussions as far as if he was going to be on the birth certificate or sign for the birth certificate?
Yes.
Okay. And what were those conversations? Can you tell me about that?
Yes, he did say he's going to sign the birth certificate and was willing to take care of the child, even if the child wasn't biologically his.
Okay. Did he end up doing that?
No, he did not sign the birth certificate.
Okay. To your knowledge, did he did not sign an affidavit of paternity either?
No, he did not.
Okay. Did he discuss wanting a paternity test with you?
He did.
Okay. Did he ask for one?
He asked about paying for one, but nothing through us at the time.
Okay. Did y'all discuss, did he receive any paperwork or discuss any paperwork he'd received from the hospital as far as paternity testing?
No, he did not.
Okay. But he did mention that he would like to do a paternity test to find out if he is the father.
Yes.
Okay. Did he state if he was found to be the father, would he be willing to work services with the department?
Yes.
Okay. When was your last conversation with him?
That would be on Friday. It was a
Okay.
text conversation.
Okay. And what was that conversation?
I told him that he had missed the first hearing, and I provided him with the additional link for this hearing.
Okay. So he was aware of the hearing today and the time and the link for that hearing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did he ever respond whether he planned on showing up or not?
He did not.
Okay. Did he respond at all after you sent that?
He did not respond.
Okay. Have you had any other conversations since the hospital conversation, any other conversations about his concerns with the paternity and wanting testing after that?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, all right. And is that all the conversations you've had with him on this case?
Just the notice of removal when he met with Miss Cruz and I at the department, but that was the extent of it. Okay.
And he did receive the paperwork for an attorney?
Yes.
And he has not returned that to you?
No, and he told me that he has his own attorney and didn't give me that information either.
Okay, so you don't know who he's talking about on that?
Correct.
Okay. Due to dad mentioning, or alleged father mentioning that he wants paternity testing, and mom's agreement today, do you believe it's in the best interest of the child to continue in the temporary managing conservatorship of the department?
Yes.
And for parents to work services?
Yes.
And to ask for a paternity test on alleged dad to see if he is the father?
Yes.
And you believe that's in the best interest?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Kincaid. All right, she's getting logged back in.
I'm sorry, Judge. I'm here. I'm just in a spot with bad reception.
No problem. Okay, so he has passed the witness, so any questions for Ms. Atkinson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Zavala?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Trout, any further questions for Ms. Atkinson?
No further questions for Ms. Atkinson, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, any objection to her being excused?
No
No,
objection.
Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Atkinson, thank you for your time today. You're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, sir, you can call your next witness if you have one.
I'd call mom just briefly, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Cruz, you're gonna need to unmute.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, can you get your video back on?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna send you a prompt to unmute. There you go. All right, if you'll raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Trout, you may begin.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Cruz. Could you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Alicia Cruz.
Okay. And Ms. Cruz, you are the mother to Benjamin Pennan, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Ms. Cruz, you were here for the testimony about Mr. Pennan, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just a couple of quick questions. Is there any other person that could be the father of Benjamin?
No, sir.
Okay, so you believe that James Pennan is the father of the child?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you be okay with paternity testing to confirm that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you and Mr. Pennan had that conversation?
Yes, sir, we have.
Okay, and is that what he's told you he wanted?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Kincaid,
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Zavala.
No questions.
All right, Mr. Trout, anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, does the department have any additional witnesses?
No additional witnesses would rest, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kincaid, any witnesses to call today?
No witnesses, I rest.
And Ms. Zavala?
No witnesses, I rest.
All right, Ms. Zavala, do you have a recommendation to make?
Yes, Your Honor, I do believe it's in Benjamin's best interest to remain in the temporary managing conservatorship of the department. He is placed in a foster home here in town. He's doing well. And I do recommend that that continue.
All right, thank you very much. Give me just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then, at this time, I do find the evidence is sufficient to name the Department of Family and Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator of the child, Benjamin Pennan. And additionally, I will name the mother as a possessory conservator. There will not be any kind of child support or medical support obligation for her at this time. I want her to use her resources to work services. I would make a finding that there is a continuing and ongoing danger to the child to return the child home today, and that I will order the department to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family. I am going to go ahead and order genetic testing between the alleged father, James Pennan, and the child, Benjamin Pennan, and we'll get the outcome of that and then discuss any further possibility of child support or medical support on Mr. Pennan. But since he's alleged, that would be premature today. Okay. So, Ms. Cruz, it's really important you stay in contact with your attorney and with the department. This case will now transition to a new caseworker. And that individual, I think, is probably going to be Ms. Bird. Is that correct? All right. She's here on screen, Jalissa Bird, and she's with St. Francis. She's going to be the lady that you need to make your go-to as far as questions and concerns, or if you have help, you need help, anything like that. But it is important you stay in touch with Ms. Kincaid, as she's going to help guide you, through this case over the next many months. If you have a change of phone number or address, be sure and let these folks know. They're really busy people, and the last thing they need to do is try to, run you to ground. So do them the courtesy of giving them updated contact information. Between now and the next hearing, they're going to sit down with you and create what's called a family plan of service. And that's going to detail what all the department is asking you to do, who those service providers are, how you get in contact with those people, all that information. We're going to talk more about that service plan at our next hearing, but understand as soon as you sit down with them and you get that family plan created, you can start working services. You do not have to wait until the next hearing to get started on everything. So the sooner the better, and I'm sure they'll be scheduling that pretty soon. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am, I don't have any questions.
Okay. If you have continue in contact with Mr. Pennan, just encourage him, fill out that paperwork for an attorney. I'll look at it. If he qualifies, he can have his own lawyer. And, it's a great benefit to have in this case. So I hope that he will do that.
Okay.
All
I
right.
have a quick question. Hold on. CBS, Miss Axel, Zoe, she ended up, what is it called? Giving me the paperwork to fill out for the attorney. I feel like I should, can I get some more paperwork so that he can have an attorney just in case he does qualify?
Yeah, they'll send it again. I mean, or they'll get it to you again, and in the event you can pass that along to him. Just tell him, fill it out, be thorough about it, and then he can get it back to Ms. Bird, and she'll get it to my office so we can take a look at it.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
But the truth of the matter is, most people do qualify. So, all he's got to do is, sit down. It'll take him probably 10, 15 minutes at most.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, then, good luck to you, and I'll see you back for our status hearing, which will be on July 1st of 2025. Okay. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket.
Okay.
And they'll make sure you have a new Zoom link for that, and what time exactly to log in. I start my docket at 9, but I'll have a whole lot of cases, for that morning. So your case may not be right at 9 o'clock. It may be close to that, but it might be 9:45 or it might be 10 o'clock. So they can let you know that. Your attorney certainly can let you know that.
Okay.
All right, I appreciate it, everybody. Thank y'all. And Amy, thank you. And everybody have a good rest of your afternoon. And I'll see most of you probably Thursday.
You too.
Thank you.
Judge.
Okay.
Thank you,
thanks.
Savannah.
Thank you.
Thank you.